Hey everybody, today I'll be reacting to a Watchmojo top 10 list of movies usually shown in film school. The reason being is because last semester in college I took a class in cinema. Each class we watched a different movie, and I want to see if any of those movies are on that list. So here we go.
Narratively and visually, these films are the essentials for any self-respecting cinephile.
Clockwork Orange.
Welcome to Watchmojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks
Do
for
the
the
right
top
thing.
10 movies shown
Random movie
in film
clips.
school. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're focusing on the influential motion pictures that are most often shown by film or media professors when discussing the craft of filmmaking.
There's an old joke. Two elderly women are at a cat
Clip
center
of
researching,
Annie Hall.
and one of them says, "Boy, the food at this place is really terrible." The other one says, "Yeah, I know, and such a small portion."
Number 10, City Lights. Aside from being lauded
The
for
first
its
film we
technical
watched.
design, Charlie Chaplin's beloved silent film City Lights not only
I want to see
brings
more
art,
films from
but also
Chaplin and
essentially changed
other
the
silent films
film
after this
industry.
one.
Chaplin's mastery of movement demonstrated that he had a keen understanding of the visual aesthetic necessary to incite laughs. And
When we were watching this, everybody in my class laughed to it.
And as the director, producer, and star, he was in a prime position to articulate that vision. With its central love story featuring the iconic tramp character seeking the affection of a blind woman, the film more than delivers on romance and clever gags. And by the finale of City Lights, Chaplin's proficiency as a filmmaker sets the stage for his magical moment as a performer, highlighting the importance of character development. Number 9, The Graduate.
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me.
The iconic line.
This classic has lost some of its luster since the late 60s. It remains a definitive satire of its time. Starring Dustin Hoffman in his breakout role, and Anne Bancroft as the
It was
alluring Mrs. Robinson.
interesting to
The
see
Graduate
Dustin
mixes
Hoffman in
brilliant
his first role.
storytelling
Yeah.
with refined direction. On paper, the inherent conflict jumps off the page as Benjamin Braddock falls for Elaine, the daughter of Mrs. Robinson.
Can we do something tomorrow? Alright. During the day, we'll go for a drive or something.
Okay. But given the overall character study and sly humor of the film, it stands up as a conversation starter on character motivation and viewer identification, especially when analyzing the introspective ending of the film. In other words, do you sympathize more with Benjamin or Mrs. Robinson? Number 8, Mulholland Drive.
Mulholland Drive.
Don't even remember talking about this one.
That's where I was going.
David Lynch's 1986 classic Blue Velvet is another film school essential, as his recurring themes pervade the unorthodox narrative, opening the viewer's mind to cinema's possibilities.
Let's anything that moves!
But in terms of 21st century filmmaking, Mulholland Drive strays heavily from the usual narratives of commercial films.
Came to see if he's out there.
To get rid of this god-awful feeling.
Set in Los Angeles, Mulholland Drive offers a surreal take on the big city experience. Lynch relies less on rigid structuring and captures his audiences through mood and dreamlike imagery.
This is all a tape recording. No hay banda, and yet we hear a band.
Touching on a mix of genres, particularly the film noir of Hollywood's past, Mulholland Drive requires patient viewing and doesn't provide easy answers for audiences.
It's 6980 Mulholland Drive. Mulholland Drive.
Number 7, The Godfather.
We've known each other many years, but this is the first time you ever came to counsel for help.
By the early 70s,
Seen the second, but still have to see a third.
Various alterations. But no film had investigated a mob family quite like Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather. For a first-time viewer,
My teacher
Kane's
described this as a
Al Pacino
horror
and Marlon
movie,
Brando
and
have a certain effect.
I agree with
Most
them.
film students understand their pop culture relevance, but in terms of craft and the technique of constructing a film, The Godfather masterfully delivers throughout, in dialogue, performance, and increasing tension.
Business, not personal.
They shot my father.
Even the shooting of your father was business, not personal, Sonny.
And at 3 hours long, it's a perfect example of how cinema may transcend length if the storytelling is tight.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, we had to take 2 classes to watch this movie.
Come on! What's the matter with you?
Number 6, Psycho.
Norman Bates no longer exists.
We talked about it, but we didn't watch it.
Only half existed.
But we did watch a couple of clips of
Known
the
as
shower
the
scene,
master
though.
of suspense, Alfred Hitchcock wasn't necessarily praised throughout the majority of his career. But as
There it is.
filmmaking auteurs paid closer attention to his work, the more admired he became. And so, a film like Psycho received increased attention for its collective brilliance beyond the infamous shower scene. In terms of plot, Psycho reveals a director fully aware of what buttons to push, with its leading lady getting killed in the first act. And the visuals and editing techniques manipulate the viewer even more.
Last 2 days, I've been to so many motels, my eyes are blurry with neon, but this is the first place that looks like it's hiding from the world.
It takes brilliant performers to sell each particular scene by building tension and mystery, showing that a proper understanding of directorial technique goes a long way.
They'll see, and they'll know, and they'll say, why, she wouldn't even harm a fly.
Number 5, Raging Bull.
Didn't see it in class. Never seen it, actually.
I want you to meet her face.
Based on the life story of boxer Jake
Probably should
LaMotta,
now.
this film transcends preconceived notions about likable characters and masculinity, and earned Robert De Niro his second Oscar for his method acting approach to the titular character.
Who's an animal? Your mother's an animal, you son of a bitch!
A deeply layered character study. One doesn't have to identify with the lead to understand his influences on those around him. Director Martin Scorsese enlists a variety of visual techniques, inspired by his cinematic influences, while executing his own unique vision.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
For some, Raging Bull may not be as affecting as 1976's Taxi Driver, yet it's a film that can be studied scene by scene and frame by frame.
You never got me down, Ray. You hear me? Never got me down.
Number 4, Bicyle Thieves.
Didn't see this one either.
As Hollywood genres evolved and World War II came to a close, the Italians stripped cinema down to its core. Directed by Vittorio De Sica, Bicyle Thieves is arguably the most popular work of the neo-realist movement, focusing heavily on modest human struggles. As a whole, the film was shot on location in Rome and used local actors, which lent weight to the simple yet heavily dramatic moments. The plot is humble. A man loses his bike, and therefore loses his means to provide for his family. There's no visual trickery, there's no overt melodrama. It's a snapshot of life in late 1940s Italy, translated to the screen. Number 3, Seven Samurai.
We were going to watch this in class, but we would have to take 2 classes to do it, and turns out there was a week break between the 2, and didn't make sense to do it that way. We watched Yojimbo instead.
Kurosawa didn't just film the legendary actor Toshiro Mifune and the supporting cast on a single camera. He innovated by using several cameras to create a more chaotic feel. The script itself deserves respect, given the natural drama of 7 samurai rising up against village bandits. But it's a film that zeroes in on all aspects of filmmaking. And so, 7 Samurai features a masterful director elevating his craft further, and a filmmaker brilliantly aware of how to portray character motivation, Japanese history, and his own vision of filmmaking. Number 2, Breathless.
Don't even remember discussing this in class.
François Truffaut may have kicked off the French New Wave with 1959's The 400 Blows, but Jean-Luc Godard legitimized the movement with Breathless.
On se regarde les yeux dans les yeux, et ça sert à rien.
Originally conceptualized by Truffaut, the film thrives off of a rebellious spirit, a contrast to the existing French movie culture of the time. As a filmmaker, writer, and director, Godard threw accepted norms out the window, constructing a narrative according to his own personal ideals.
Pourquoi vous êtes triste?
Parce que je suis triste.
C'est idiot.
Godard's cinematic philosophy, evidenced by his jump cuts and unconventional storytelling, inspired filmmakers for years to come. There's a natural cool to the characters in Breathless, and the directorial techniques fully shook up the system in 1960, ultimately changing how directors approached their craft.
On va dormir?
Oui.
C'est triste le sommeil. On est forcé de se séparer.
Before we unveil our number one pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Saw this, but not in class. Metropolis, we discussed it, but didn't watch it. Casablanca, we watched it.
Number 1, Citizen Kane. Decades after its original release,
Yeah, we didn't end up watching this one. Kinda wish we did though. We still discussed it a lot.
Great films, Citizen Kane was dismissed early on, at least until a French critic shed new light on the innovative style and structure.
Is that really your idea? How to run a newspaper? I don't know how to run a newspaper, Mr. Fletcher. I just try everything I think of.
Chronicling the life of a secluded business tycoon following his death, played by the then 25-year-old Wells, Citizen Kane influenced much of the film noir movement of the late 40s and 50s, as well as countless other films and genres. Given the specificity of the lighting and cinematography.
Sorry about that, my camera cut me off for some reason, I'm not sure why. Anyway, so yeah, I'm glad that a lot of the movies on that list were ones I saw in class. I'll have to see the other ones on the list I didn't yet see. The other movies I watched in class included Memento, Jaws, what else? Oh, Halloween, Clerks, Room, and Kingdom Come. I think that's all I can think of right now. So yeah, thank you for watching, I'll see you next time.